You wake up one morning and something's different. It's not the light breaking through the curtains. It's not the stiffness in your joints or the silence of the room. It's something deeper, a realization. You're not 20 anymore. You're not 40. You've lived decades. And with each one, you've gained something. Pain, yes, but also wisdom. You've buried people you loved. You've watched dreams dissolve into the dust of time, and yet you're still here. You're still standing. So the question is, what do you say to yourself now? When the noise is quieted, when the crowd is dispersed, and the mirror reflects the lines time drew across your face, what words do you speak into the silence? This is not merely about motivation. It's about survival. It's about how the soul ages. It's about the choices you make with the remaining days of your life. Because contrary to what the culture may whisper or scream, your value does not diminish with age. It intensifies, but only if you remember who you are. You see, most people, as they grow older, become prisoners of the past or fearful observers of the future. They forget the power of language, the immense psychological impact of the words they speak. And so they drift. They get bitter. They surrender not with a cry, but with silence. But you are not most people. You have the capacity to build even now, to reshape the foundation of your mind day after day, to remind yourself each morning that life is not done with you, and you are not done with life. And to do that, you must learn to speak powerfully, especially to yourself. I want to share with you 8 lines, 8 powerful declarations that you should speak every single morning. Not as empty affirmations, not as feel-good slogans, but as principles, as truth forged in the fire of experience. Because words, when spoken with intent, restructure your perception. They give form to the formless, direction to chaos, and meaning to suffering. The first thing you must say to yourself in the morning is, I am still becoming. Now that might sound deceptively simple, but embedded in that sentence is the antidote to despair. Because the moment you believe that you're finished, that your story is written, that your growth is over, that's the moment you begin to die psychologically. We need to be reminded, especially in old age, that we are works in progress. You're not a statue. You're a living narrative. You're a soul that still has layers to uncover. You don't stop becoming until the day your heart ceases to beat. And even then, your legacy continues to unfold in the people you've touched, the love you've given, and the meaning you've created. So when you say, I am still becoming, you're rejecting the lie that your best years are behind you. You're insisting rightfully that your existence still holds potential. That's not delusion. That's courage. The second line is this: I will carry my pain with dignity. Because make no mistake, there is pain in your knees, in your memories, in your chest when you think of those who aren't here anymore. But pain, when denied, becomes poison. When acknowledged and carried properly, it becomes honor. There's a difference between being broken and being bent. And the older you get, the more you must make peace with carrying your suffering without letting it destroy your character. This is what separates the wise from the bitter. You speak this line not to suppress your grief, but to remind yourself that your pain has not been in vain. It has shaped you into someone who can feel, someone who can see, someone who understands the deep architecture of the human condition. You've earned the right to say, this hurts, but I will carry it well. The third line you must speak is, I have not yet given all I have to give. That line is a declaration of war against resignation. Too many people in their later years convince themselves that their contribution has expired, that the world no longer needs their voice, their insight, their presence. But what a catastrophic lie that is. You've walked through fire. You've raised children. You've built homes. You've survived loss. You carry a wisdom that cannot be found in books or online courses. And if you silence yourself now, if you retreat into apathy, then the next generation is robbed of your hard-earned perspective. You must say this line to yourself with conviction. You have not yet given all I have to give. Because that's true. You haven't. There's still someone out there who needs your story. Someone who's lost and drowning and needs a voice like yours to say, and I made it through. So can you? The fourth line is a commitment. Today, I will choose meaning over comfort. This is a hard one, especially as the body tires, because comfort whispers seductively in old age. It says, rest more, avoid challenge, shrink your world. And rest is important. Yes, but when comfort becomes your God, you lose your soul. Meaning is not found in doing what is easy. It's found in doing what is necessary. Helping when you'd rather isolate. Speaking when you'd rather be silent. Moving when you'd rather sit still. Meaning is the antidote to nihilism. If you wake up each day and choose what's meaningful, even in small things, you'll find yourself stronger than you ever imagined. You'll sleep at night with the deep satisfaction of having mattered. And in old age, that is more valuable than any fleeting pleasure. Now let's talk about something almost taboo in our culture. Aging is often viewed as a loss of beauty, of status, of relevance. But there is an extraordinary counterbalance to that narrative. And that brings us to the fifth line. My presence holds gravity. Think about that. In a society addicted to speed and noise and novelty, your stillness, your depth has gravity. It grounds people. Google, you are not meant to compete with youth. You are meant to anchor it. When you walk into a room, there should be a weight to your presence, not one of burden, but of substance. You carry decades of stories, mistakes, and victories in your bones. You don't need to prove yourself. You simply need to be fully and authentically. And that is more powerful than most people realize. When you remind yourself that your presence holds gravity, you carry yourself differently. You speak slower, but with more impact. You listen better. You become a quiet force of stability in a chaotic world. That's not weakness. That's strength evolved. The sixth line you must speak is perhaps the most liberating. I forgive myself for what I didn't know. Because let's be honest, regret is a heavy chain. It drags behind you, whispering, you should have done this. You shouldn't have said that. You failed here. And that kind of inner dialogue becomes corrosive. But here's the truth. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. If you could go back and live it all again with the wisdom you now have, you'd do things differently. Of course you would. But you know then what you know now. Now. And that's not sin. That's growth. So you must learn to forgive the version of yourself that was doing the only thing they knew how to do. Survive. Speak this line with gentleness, but also with firmness. Because forgiveness isn't about erasing the past. It's about refusing to let the past define your worth. And now we arrive at something that people in old age rarely allow themselves to feel. Hope. That's why the seventh line is so essential. Something beautiful may still be ahead. Yes, even now, even at 70, even at 80. The human spirit is a miraculous thing. It is capable of renewal. It is capable of wonder, but only if you expect it. Only if you believe in the possibility of joy. Don't shut the door on the unexpected. Don't assume your best days are behind you. That kind of thinking is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Look for beauty. Look for surprise. Look for the way a child looks at you, or the way music still moves your chest, or the way sunlight touches your hand through the window. If you wake up each morning and speak this line, something beautiful may still be ahead. You train your eyes to see it. And you'll find that life still has more to give. And finally, perhaps the most important line of all, a thank you for letting me live another day. Gratitude. Not the vague kind, not the polite kind, the sacred kind. Because when you reach a certain age, every sunrise is a gift. Every conversation is a miracle. And the mere fact that you can speak and feel and think and breathe, that is something holy. When you speak this final line, say it slowly. Let it settle into your bones. And thank you for letting me live another day. You didn't earn this day. It was given to you. What will you do with it? How will you honor it? You see, the words we speak shape our identity. And in old age, when the world around you forgets how powerful you still are, you must be the one to remember. These 8 lines are not just morning mantras. They are shields. They are swords. They are swords. They are the quiet weapons of the soul. Use them. Speak them. Live them. And if this resonated with you, if something in your heart stirred, or your eyes welled up, or your spine straightened just a little bit, then share this message with someone who needs it, someone who's forgotten their value, Someone who's wondering if they still matter. Because the truth is, they do, and so do you. Now go. Speak your truth. Speak it every morning, and don't you dare forget your story is not over.